Guys, welcome to the Attic of Emily and Emily's Attic. And yes, I know, I am so annoying, but I have to talk to you about books again. I know, you guys are probably really annoyed and you want more art, but after this, I'm going to be planning a ton of art videos. I'm going to find all these different art projects. I'm going to have to find something. I will find something, I promise. I'm sorry I've been annoying you with a bunch of book videos, but I've just kind of been obsessed. So today we're doing another challenge. I'm not going to show the questions because I don't want to be, but I have the questions here. And it's like book habits you have. So we're just going to jump into it. You'll see what it is going on in the video. Question number 1 is, do you have a certain place to read at home? No, definitely not, because I just read anywhere. I think if you were to ask by the perspective of how much, like, the place I read most at, it would be in my bed or like downstairs on the couch. Yeah, I don't have a certain place to read, because if you have a certain place to read, you can only be restricted to that. In my birthday, which is in 6 days, that was violent. So I think I'm gonna get a bean bag for my birthday, and I'm just gonna put it right here next to my shelf. I'll probably read there a lot, but I don't know. I'm not gonna be restricted to that because that just seems too restricted. Question number 2 is a bookmark or random piece of paper. Okay, so actually, I have been trying to use bookmarks. As you can see, there's some bookmarks over here. This one's so cute. Dig into reading. But yeah, I don't use bookmarks that much. For some reason, I know this might sound kind of ridiculous, but I feel like keeping up with a bookmark is hard. As I said, I read everywhere. I don't have one place, so I go everywhere so it's really hard to keep up with the bookmark. It might fly away, you might lose it. So whenever I am reading, I've been trying to get into using bookmarks, but I know you guys are going to scream at me for this, but I know there are some other people out there that do this. I actually dog ear the pages. I found out in the past that is very bad. I've never thought that, but yeah, I dog ear the pages. Like, you can kind of, if you flip through my books, you can kind of see, like, if you don't know what dog ear is, it's doing this. And I know people say that's really bad. I'm also using a bookmark right now. It's coffee plus books plus God equals happy life. But I know people say it's bad for your books and you probably shouldn't do that. But I feel like dog-earing your pages, it gives it much character. You're like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, you stopped here. So I think it's definitely just, I dog ear the pages most of the time. I've been trying to use bookmarks more. But I don't know. I'm sorry. With a random scrap piece of paper, I don't actually do that much. I'm gonna actually move you over here so you can see more of the bookshelf, because that's kind of what we're talking about. Okay. I don't like, yeah. I've been trying to use bookmarks, so that's why I made a bunch. Like, bookmark. Books make me happy. Says, this one's a poem. Books are so amazing. I love them so much. They have such a very nice touch. I put very in. That's actually not what it says, but I'm just gonna do that because it sounds better than what I actually wrote. And it just says, here. And then, when it rains, grab a book. Yeah, that's all. And I just stick them in this little treehouse that I gave a makeover to, along with lots of scrap pieces of paper. Like, what is all that? Okay, come on, bookmarks, you can do it. Come on, bookmarks. Okay, next question is, can you stop reading in a random place, or you have to read a certain amount of pages or a whole chapter? I like reading a whole chapter because I don't like really stopping in the middle of chapters unless there is a stop, because I've seen that before. Like, wait, there should be some in here. I just had it yesterday. It's nice. See, right here, the little space, that means it stops. But not like a whole chapter. It just stops in the middle of the chapter as a little break. I like when it stops like that. But yeah, I will stop at that. But stopping like in the middle of a page, unless I have to, then I won't. Because I just want to finish a whole chapter or get to a stop. And a certain amount of pages do you have to read a certain amount of pages? I read not a certain amount of pages. I read like a lot or not at, like hardly at all. I don't have a certain amount of pages. Like every time I read 5 pages. I'm not restricted to like stuff, but yeah. Question number 4. That's 4. Do you eat or drink while reading? Yes. Yes, I do. Ow, did I just paper cut the top of my eye? No. Anyway, yes, drinking coffee and tea is just so relaxing. Like coffee, as I said, where the heck did it go? Okay, as I said with this, coffee, books plus God equals happy life. Do you see the coffee? Coffee and books are just the little joys of life, you know? I just love it. And eating definitely can be hard sometimes because then your hand gets greasy and then you have to, it kind of takes my focus away from the book because I can't concentrate just on the book. I concentrate on putting the fork in the chicken and then I'm picking up the chicken and putting it in my mouth. Yeah, I'm pretty bad at multitasking when I'm reading a book. Like I can brush my teeth, but I still feel my mind wandering away. Where did my list go? Oh, okay, I can't find my list. Where is it hiding? Is it in my lap? Is this something stupid? That is not it. Where? Oh, okay. I found it. We're okay. Question number 5. Music or TV while reading? Why would you watch a movie while you're reading a book in the first place? No, I cannot read a book with a TV. As I said, my mind wanders away and I get really distracted. No, especially with music. Lyrics, like, I can feel myself dancing. I start dancing, and then my mind will wander away from the book. Like, what's the point of that? But yeah, I just find my mind wandering away really easily. For some reason, I'm not a very deep reader unless it's exciting. Yeah, why the heck can't I answer this? What am I trying to say? Oh, I'm not a very deep reader unless it's exciting. If it's not that exciting, I feel my mind wandering away and I can get distracted really easily. Sometimes I get so deep into my book, like I can't even hear people talking to me. I love when I do that. I don't know why. But I was sitting in my bed one day and Mom was calling me and she was like, "Good night, Emily." And Laura was like, "Are you going to say good night?" And I was like, "Huh?" She's almost, you know, stuff like that. Question number 6. Okay, what is question number 6? I forgot. One book or several at a time? Does this give you an idea? No, okay. Okay, let me just explain this to you. This is not a story. It is a book I'm doing for Bible study. See, it's a Bible study book, so I'm doing that for Bible study. This one is an activity book. All these activities. This one is a smoothie book, which I just like looking through whenever I'm bored. And this one is a cleaning book for motivation and organizing. This is the only book that actually is a story that I'm reading right now. So I'm pretty much reading, like, if I would say I'm pretty much reading one book right now, if it was like a story-wise. Oh my gosh, why can I not get comfy? But yeah, wait a minute, it's really dark. That did not make any difference. I would prefer reading one book at once. Another one that's kind of similar to number 1. Do you read at home or everywhere? Everywhere. Okay, that's just something. It said last time, do you have a certain place to read at home? I would kind of consider those the same thing. I have the same answers to each of them. That's what I'm saying. So yeah, I read anywhere. In my grandma's house, if I can, at a restaurant. I feel like reading at a restaurant is really weird though when people, you know, why? Okay, I'm sorry, you're sitting on my bed, so there's the cover in the front. Okay, question number 8. Reading out loud or in your head? Okay, I am awful at reading out loud. I'm sorry, but I am awful. I like reading in my head, especially when I'm reading by myself. We are actually reading this out loud with my sister and mom. And I do like it because it's practice and stuff. And I'm not very good at reading out loud. I need to get better at it because it's good practice for speeches whenever you get older. This is the book we're reading. I want to read it so bad. I want to read that. Okay, so yeah. Oh my gosh. I cannot. Okay. yeah, so I definitely prefer reading in my head if I was reading by myself. But I do practice when I read books to my little brother, or I do read out loud when I can hardly understand something. Like, sometimes it's hard to understand things in your head if you're not saying it out loud. So you go over the words a few times and you're like, what does that even mean? So sometimes I will say it out loud and then be like, oh. And especially if it's singing like lullabies or songs in the book, I'll sing it out loud so I can kind of hear it a little better. Yeah, sometimes I talk aloud, but not all the time. I prefer reading in my head. This one's just cruel. Number 9. Do you read ahead or skip pages? No, I would never skip pages. Like, that's cruel. Like, I don't know. Okay, yeah, no, I'm not gonna skip pages. No. Well, there is one thing. I am a skimmer. If you don't know what a skimmer is, I skim over words. Which sometimes it's really weird how I read, okay? I'm just going to show you how I read real quick. Okay, so this one says, lower away, called Savangel. And then I might, like, pass slowly now, and then go on to easy does it, and then go back and say slowly now, and then piece it all together into one sentence. Like, it's so weird how I read. Like, I switch, like, I'll read this, pass this, go down here, read this, and then go back and read this and piece it all together. It's really weird how I read sometimes. I'm a really bad skimmer and like skimming over words. So like if I'm reading, I'll like skim like a few words and stuff. I think it's definitely harder with these books that have such small words because they're small, they're easy to pass. With books like the series of Unfortunate Events, their words are pretty big. So I can pretty much like... So I can, like, read those better because they're bigger and I can see all of them. But with these, I skim over words. But I feel like if you don't skim, you get lots more of the book. I've been trying to be better with that. But, you know, especially in signing parts, I'm just ready to get, you know, I'm stressing out. Whatever. Yeah, I do sometimes skim over words, but not whole pages. Because that would just be cool. Okay, next. Breaking spine or keeping it new. Okay, so this is one thing that people kind of freak out about when they break the spine. They're like, oh my gosh, you break the spine of our bike. But I think this gives the book a lot of character. Books can tell you not only one story, but the story of how long you read it, how much you read it, and when you read it and stuff. So if it gives character, then yeah. So this is one that's an example. This is 100 cupboards. As you can see, the spine is broke. Now it lays flat. But this was actually from eBay, so somebody was using it before. But see, I can tell that somebody really loved this book because they had so many adventures with it. They laid it on the table like this. So I can tell that somebody loved this book just by the spine that's broken. I love this book too. Also here I have this, and I actually broke the spine on this on accident. I don't break the spine on my books on purpose, but once you read them, like a lot, then the spine starts to break. So I didn't do this on purpose, is because I read this book like 5 times. Yeah, especially with the dog ear. Cracking spine and dog ear gives the book character. I didn't break it on purpose, but I don't mind that it's broken. Finale is number 11. Do you write in your books? No. I can understand writing in a book like this, but I can't understand a book like this. Like, this is a storybook. Why would I write in it? No, I don't. I don't write in a book. Okay, guys. Anyway, I hope you like watching this video. That was all the questions that I went through. Before I go, I'm going to say something real quick, which is totally random. But I was supposed to read the Odyssey for class, but Mom said it's too old for me and huge. So I found this book downstairs, The Tales from the Odyssey. And I read this. Guess how fast? 20 minutes. I've never read a book that fast in my entire life. Crazy. Just throwing it out there. I'm sorry. I'm just proud of myself. Hope you're liking this video. I am excited. Bye.